Dear friends, welcome to the class of data structure. In this lecture, uh, we are going to study about basics of graph and some important terminologies that are related to graph. So, what is a graph? So, graph is basically set of vertices and edges. Okay. So, we also know that it is a hierarchical data structure and it is also non-linear data structure. We have previously seen in first unit that graph is a type of non-linear data structure. It represents the hierarchical relationship. It consists of vertices and edges. Both are finite sets. So, for example, suppose now this is a graph. Now set of vertices V is equal to A, B, C, D. Vertices are also called endpoints, and set of edges E is equal to, we have AB vertex edge, sorry, we have BC edge, we have CD edge, we have AC edge. These are set of edges. So it is collection of basically vertices and edges. Look, edges can be an ordered pair in case the graph is directed. It means that, what is the meaning of directed graph? Directed graph means that every edge will have a direction like this. So this is a undirected edge. So AC is equal to CA in this case. But since it is a directed edge, so AB does not equal to BA. So graph is directed, edge is an ordered pair of vertices, otherwise it is an unordered pair of vertices. Now, if there is an edge such that both vertices of the edge are same, then it is called a self loop. Like for example, this is a self loop. Okay, so for example, this C to C is a self loop. So basically, what happens when since there are a pair of vertices, so this vertex is source, this is sink or destination. Similarly, for self loop edge, CC to C is source and C is itself the destination also. Now vertex is adjacent to other vertex if there is an edge between two vertices. So if E is equal to V1, V2, we say that vertex V1 and V2 are said to be adjacent. Similarly, edges are adjacent to each other if both edges share the same vertices. Like for example, suppose this is a graph. So we can say that edge AB and edge AC are adjacent because they share a common vertex A. Okay. Now neighborhood or adjacency list means the set of vertices which is adjacent to a particular vertex. Like for example, if we take a graph, like this. So for every vertex we can have an adjacency list or neighborhood list. Suppose I am taking A. So its adjacency list or neighborhood list will contain set of vertices which are adjacent to it. It means where there is an edge containing A. So we can see that there is an edge from A to B. So B is adjacent, C is adjacent. Only two edges are adjacent. Similarly, if we take vertex B, then adjacent vertices are A, then B to D is also edge, B to E is also edge, B to C is also edge. So this is called neighborhood or adjacency list. Now degree of a vertex is basically number of edges that contain that vertex in case of undirected graph. So if we see this graph and if we see B, so degree of vertex B is number of edges where B is contained. Okay, so 1 edge, 2 edge, 3 edge and 4 edge. So degree of B is equal to 4. But if the graph is directed, then this degree becomes in degree of a vertex, say A, and out degree of a vertex, say again A. So in this figure we can see what is the meaning of in degree. In degree of a vertex means all number of edges that are coming to it, and out degree of vertex means number of edges that are going from A. So here number of edges going from A is 2. So our degree of A is 2 here. But number of edges that is coming to A is 0. So n degree is 0. Okay. Similarly, suppose we take B. So as you can see in this graph now, so n degree, so 2 edges are coming to B. So n degree of B is equal to 2, and out degree of B is equal to 1, since 1 edge is going out of B. Right. Now what is a multigraph? So suppose a graph is containing parallel edges. Now what is the meaning of parallel edges? Suppose a graph is given. Okay, and edges are given here. And suppose this is also edge. So here we can see that edge E1 is also D and edge E2 is also D. So E1 and E2, since pairs are same, order of pairs are same vertices are used here, these are called parallel edges. So these are parallel edges. So any graph that contain parallel edges or contain self-loop or contain both is called a multigraph. So this graph is a multigraph. And the graph containing no parallel edges or no self-loop is called a simple graph. So this graph is a simple graph. So it can contain parallel edges, it can also contain a self-loop here. Fine. Directed graph we have already discussed. So edge here is a ordered pair and direction is assigned to every edge. The source and destination is, we have already discussed this also. Suppose E is equal to V1, V2, then V1 is called source and V2 is called destination. And if we are talking about directed graph, in undirected graph, any of the vertices can be treated as source and any of the vertices can be treated as direction, because if the graph is undirected, then V1, V2 is equal to V2, V1. Empty graph means that vertex set is empty, so obviously edge set is also empty. And a trivial graph means that there is only single vertex and no edge. An isolated vertex means a vertex which is not connected. Like for example, this is a particular graph and this is a vertex F. So in this complete graph, F is a isolated vertex, which is because it is not connected to graph. Now, what is the meaning of connected graph? So connected and strongly connected. We have two terminologies. So connected basically is associated with undirected graph. Connected graph means in a graph if every vertex is reachable from every other vertex. Now what is the meaning of reachable? See here. So we take A, so we can go to B, we can also go to C, we can also go to D, we can also go to E. So from A every vertex is reachable. We can walk to each of the vertices using one or more edges. Now if we take B, then we can walk to A, we can walk to C, we can walk to D, we can walk to E. Again from B every vertex is reachable. We take C, then again every vertex is reachable. If we take D, then again every vertex is reachable. So since here all vertex is reachable from every other vertex, so therefore this graph is connected. Okay. And reachability means that necessarily it is not necessary that only one edge is between two vertices. We can have more than one edge. So when we use more than one edges from one to reach from vertex U to vertex V, then it is basically called a path. So we say that if there is a path between every pair of vertices, then the graph is connected. Now same is the terminology strongly connected, which is used in case of directed graph. So suppose this is the graph. So from A we can reach to D, but we cannot reach to B. So this is not strongly connected. But if this is the scenario, so from A we can reach D, we can also reach C, we can also reach B. From B also we can reach A, D and C, and from C also we can reach all the vertices. So now this graph is strongly connected. Okay. Now comes the complete graph. So in complete graph, basically between every pair of vertices there is a edge, not path. There is a edge. It means we can reach from one vertex to other vertex only using single edge. So it means it contains maximum number of possible edges. So a complete graph can be like this. Suppose this is the graph. So this is not complete. Why? Because we do not have an edge from A to D. So I will draw this edge. A to E I will draw. C to D I will draw. B to E I will draw. So now this graph is complete because between every pair of vertices I am having an edge. And in case of complete graph, its number of vertices is n. The number of edges is n into n minus 1 by 2. Okay. Now path I have already discussed. Suppose there is a vertex u and there is a vertex v and length of path is n. So it contains n plus 1 vertices like v0, v1 up to vn, where vi minus 1 and vi are adjacent. Okay. And maybe v0 can be equal to vn if it is a closed path. If it is not closed, then v0 and vn are different. Also, a simple path means that all the vertices are distinct except in case of closed path. Otherwise, all the vertices are distinct. Okay. So a closed path of length more than 3. When I say length more than 3, it means that 3 or more. Closed path with length 3 or more. So when I say 3 or more, it means that it contains either 3 edges or more edges. So a closed path with length 3 or more is called a cycle. And a cycle of length k is called k cycle. So it's very simple. Okay. So here we can see path from A to B. So we'll go from A to D here. So A to D we went, then from A to we'll go to C, and from C to B. So this is a simple path. And again, if you are reaching to A, now this is a closed simple path. So it is basically a cycle. Okay, and since all the vertices are distinct except source and destination, so it is a closed simple path. And if we are not including A here, then it is a simple path because each and every vertex is distinct here. Fine. So now cycle we can see here A B C D is a cycle. Suppose there is also as like this, then a cycle can be A D C A. This is also a cycle. So in cycle it is necessary that the source and destination vertices are same, and if it is a simple cycle, then except source and destination all edges are distinct and unique, and number of edges defines the length of that particular cycle. Now weighted graph is a graph in which every edge is given a numeric value. It can be directed also, it can be indirected also. For example, suppose I assign some values here. It can be negative also, but generally it is non-negative. So now these two graphs became weighted graph. These are also called labeled graph, weighted labeled graph. So every edge is assigned a particular weight, and these type of graphs are widely used in several graph applications. Now what are the applications of graph? Like finding shortest path between two cities, or finding the shortest path between a number of cities, or airplane navigation. So these are some example of graph. These are some examples. You can see undirected graph, example of directed graph, example of complete graph. In between every pair of vertex we are having an edge. So again, this is example of graph. This is the vertex set, this is the edge set. This is weighted undirected graph, this is weighted directed graph. This is a multi-graph. It is having parallel edges. This is also multi-graph, parallel edges and self loop. Again, this is weighted graph and adjacency matrix. What is adjacency matrix? We are going to study. So graph can be represented using two methods. One is called adjacency matrix representation. So if number of vertex is n, so this matrix is n cross n matrix. It means total number of entries in this matrix is n square. So suppose vertices are 1, 2, 3 up to n, 1, 2, 3 up to n. So we place in this matrix in every cell either 0 or 1. So we'll place 1 if there is an n s between vertex 1 and vertex 1, then it will be 1. If there is a s between vertex 1 and 2, it will be 1. If there is no s between vertex 1 and 3, then it will be 0. In general, if there is a s between v1 and v2, where v1 is row and v2 is column, then we place 1 in that cell, otherwise we place 0. So as you can see here for directed graph, so we do row wise, we are checking for vertex a. So a to a there is no edge here, a to b there is a edge, so 1, a to c there is no edge, a to d there is no edge, a to e there is no edge, a to f there is no edge. Similarly for b, so b to a there is a edge, b to b no edge, b to c there is a edge, b to d there is no edge, b to e there is a edge. Similarly we can do for all vertices. And for undirected graph, this matrix is a symmetric matrix. Now coming to directed graph, now we know the difference that, for example, here if a to b is edge, then also b to a is also an edge. But in this case, if a to b is edge, it is not necessary that b to a is edge. B to a can only be edge if we have an edge like this going from b to a, but there is no edge. So a to b doesn't mean here b to a. So this matrix you can again see. So from a to b we have an edge, but b to a we are not having any edge. From b to c we are having edge. From b to e we are having edge. Similarly, if you come to C, so from C to ABC we have no edge, from C to D we are having edge, and from C to E we are having edge. In similar way, we can construct this matrix also. So this is one type of representation of graph using adjacency matrix. So obviously there are lots of negative implications of using adjacency matrix, because array can be sometimes very static type, and removing and inserting a new node and creating a new matrix can be computationally very costly, and storage of array is also very costly. So the second method is adjacency list. Here there are two examples. One is of weighted directed graph, other is of undirected graph, and similar way we can draw for directed graph also. So let's see the first undirected graph, the vertex 0. So from vertex 0 there is a S2, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So all vertices are adjacent. So we have a linked list of the vertices which are adjacent. So linked list structure, this node will contain vertex, adjacent vertex, and link to next adjacent vertex. So 1, then second adjacent vertex 2, then 3, and then 4. Similarly for 1, you can see 1 is connected to 2 vertices, 0 and 3. So 0 and 3 and so on. Okay. Now in case of weighted graph with vertex, we write weight also. So since 0 is connected to 1 with weight 3, so here the structure of node will be like this: adjacent vertex, weight of the vertex, and link to the next node. So from 0, the first vertex which is adjacent is 1 with weight 3, second vertex which is adjacent is 2 with weight 5, and null in the last column. This is null. This symbol represents null basically. So for 1 we can see that only one edge is connected, one vertex is connected. So vertex 3 with weight 2. For 2 only this vertex is connected, so 3 with weight 1. For 3 there are 2 vertices, so 4 with weight 4 and 5 with weight 8. Similarly for 4 we have only one vertex, so 5 with weight 6, and 5 no vertex is connected, so no vertex is adjacent to 5. So this is basically null here. So this is the adjacency list representation of the graph. Hope this video was useful. Thanks for watching.